I'm Shanley. My question's from Virgin. I've been married for 2 years, and life is wonderful. My husband loves and respects me, and I couldn't ask for a better man. When I married my husband, I took a secret into our marriage. I told my husband I was a virgin, and this was untrue. Recently, I went with my husband to a company function, and I ran into the guy I lost my virginity to. Instantly, I was reminded of the lie I told my husband, and I feel horrible. What should I do? Should I tell my husband? Virgin. Small world. Okay. Couple of things with this one. First, why did you lie? Why? Was that a deal breaker for your husband? I'm not understanding why did you lie to your husband that you were a virgin and you weren't. So that's my first point. My second point is, let's be honest, Virgin. The only reason why you are debating should you tell your husband is because you're trying to beat the other guy to the punch. Because now you're thinking, okay, what if they have a conversation? It comes out that I know him, and then it comes out that I took your wife's virginity. So you're trying to figure out, should you beat him to the punch, basically, right? Yeah, that's what you're trying to figure out. Okay, so my whole thing with this, a couple of points that I want to point out to you. Number one, is it worth telling your husband? Do you think that this gentleman is going to say something? I don't know how many years ago it was. So the gentleman may not say anything. He may be whatever. He may have moved on with his life too. So, he may not even say anything. So, you telling your husband, when it's probably you don't even have to tell your husband. That's one of the things you might want to think about. Then the second point I want to bring up is, you said that you saw him at a company function. So with that being said, do he actually work with your husband, or do they just work for the same company? And what I mean is the gentleman your husband's manager, or is your husband a manager of his? What's their work relationship? What's that dynamics? And the only reason why I bring that up is that, yes, it is going to, first and foremost, cause some, have a potential of causing some damage on your relationship end, but not only your relationship end, on their relationship end too, if they work together. So you have to think about that as well. What's their dynamics, and then my thing is, should you tell him, should you not tell him? Honestly, Virgin, you're the only one that can really answer that question, because you know your marriage and you know your husband. Now, you have depicted him in the question as he's, you can ask for a better man. He loves and he respects you. So if that's the case, then hopefully, if you do decide to tell him, prepare for the consequences. You did lie to him. You have lied to him for 2 years. So it's a couple of things that he's going to question. Can he trust you? That's something that he may bring up, and you need to prepare yourself for those consequences, and not only that, sometimes when we confess things to individuals, then we're expecting that person to get over it quickly. Like, okay, I told you, I'm sorry, let's move on. And it doesn't work that way. Sometimes people do need a moment to take that whole forgiveness process. And so don't, allot your husband a certain time frame to get over it. Allow him to go through his whole forgiveness process, or go through the trust issues that he may have with you, because you did lie to him for 2 years, so you have to think about that. You have to, prepare yourself for the consequences if you decide to tell him, but hopefully, you said that he's, he loves and he respects you, that hopefully you guys can hold on to that love. Hopefully that, he will remember, it wasn't just because you was a virgin why he married you. It was all the other reasons why he decided to marry you. So hopefully you can hold on to that. If you do see that, that he's not forgiving you, and that the relationship is just is getting worse than getting better, then go and seek counsel. Go and seek a marriage counselor to help you get through this, for you and your husband. a third party that you both don't know, that you guys can honestly, talk your feelings out about the whole situation. So don't be afraid to go and seek a marriage counselor if that is necessary. But just think about that. If you decide to tell them, think about the consequences of what it will bring. The other thing is, that gentleman may not even say anything to your husband. Depending on how many years ago it was, maybe he has moved on and he probably like, oh yeah, whatever. It just really depends. And only you can really answer that, because you should know. But you may say something to your husband and he wasn't going to say anything to your husband. So and you just told your husband, and wasn't no need to. So your marriage. If it's weighing heavy on your heart, tell them. Just prepare yourself for the consequences. Don't go in there naive thinking, okay, I'm going to tell him, he's going to have to get over it, and we're going to move on with life. Because it is some underlying issues he may have with you, like the trust issues and the fact that you lied to him for 2 years, and now that he has to work with this gentleman if their relationship does intertwine with each other. He has to think about all of that. He has to absorb all of that. Just take a step back. Think about the whole situation, and then decide if it's worth telling your husband. But again, don't expect your husband to just get over it. Allow your husband time to go through the forgiveness process, and possibly, virgin, he could possibly tell you that he knew the entire time that you was not no virgin, so that's a possibility too. And, it may just question, why did you lie this entire time, But hopefully you guys can get through this, and 10 years from now, you guys can laugh about it. You may not be able to laugh about it now, but hopefully in 10 years, you guys can laugh about it, and it's like, wow, and this is one of the things that you got through in your marriage. So, good luck, virgin. My final thought to you is take a step back, think about it. Think about, is it worth telling your husband? If you do find that it is worth telling your husband, then prepare for the consequences, and don't just think that he should get over it. Just prepare yourself for the consequences. And the final thought, virgin, don't lie. Moving forward, tell your husband the truth, and it will set you free. The truth will set you free. So, good luck to you. Again, virgin, do not lie. Okay, that's my final thought. To tell the truth, but good luck.
And you're always running away from the truth. You lie till you make you so think it's the truth. You undress the lie and what you got. Should have been up front and just told the truth. But instead you want to go and try.
From Raleigh, North Carolina. My husband organized a church 5 years ago. He's the senior pastor and I serve as co-pastor. Over the past couple of months, I've noticed he has limited my sermons, teaching, and interaction there at the church.
Oh, Jesus.
The times I do minister, he doesn't give any feedback, and his support is very good. Lord have mercy, she pulling out the Bible.
Get your Bible out, I already know.
Okay, members of the congregation are now asking, when will I be scheduled to preach? Co-pastor, you got some message?
Yeah, again, I just want to say that.
But I have no
after you
answer.
said it.
It hurts to think there could possibly be jealous, and he's purposely denying me the opportunity to minister. I want to talk about it, but I'm afraid it may cause confusion at home.
Wait, hold on. It's already
It's no
causing
possibility,
confusion,
right. It's
because
already
it's
there.
confusion in the church. Your members are messy.
Right, they come
That's what they saying, that your pastor can't give a word like you. I'm saying,
Right.
like they asking you.
Maybe he can't. Maybe he can't.
Maybe he can,
But the
but
way
at
they
the end of the
saying
day, what are they saying? Oh, I'm not coming to church because co-pastor ain't preaching today.
But you know what?
But-
Okay, and this is, I just thought of this here. First of all, co-pastor, if your members can walk up to you and ask you a
You
question
shouldn't even allow that to
That's a
happen.
problem.
That's out of
That's-
order
that's-
right there.
Right.
that
She's
goes
just-
against your husband. That's why he ain't letting you preach.
Right, because he know that you got
Right
a
there.
front
He
line
watching you.
against him.
Right, that's why you ain't preaching.
And then even if that's not the case, and sometimes men do get intimidated when a woman does preach. It's just two different styles of preaching at times. But I tell you this here, if he doesn't allow you to preach, that's fine. The Bible say God will make room for your gift. Bottom line.
Apparently that there's not many deacons at their church. They got more deaconettes. Because the women are following behind the co-pastor. And they sick of listening to the pastor. I'm serious. Because like you said, most women, maybe she can reach out to the congregation because it's more women.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
you see what I'm saying? But if it's not, far as him getting up there, he may say something to most of the congregation that are women. And then bam.
And he probably be up there too long too.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, another piece of advice I would tell you this here is don't never allow anybody to come and approach you about your husband.
That was violation right there.
You should feel disrespected just on a note that they feel that comfortable with you that they can come and say, well, why you ain't preaching all the time?
But the larger question is, what has she done to make them feel that comfortable?
True.
I don't know. And that's what I'm
she
saying.
could have.
She's allowed
Right.
boundaries to be crossed.
Right.
That don't happen.
All right now.
Yeah.
We like that.
So what are you telling co-pastor?
God will make room for your gift. Somebody gonna ask you to speak next Sunday somewhere. Go on about your business.
Right.
Make sure that
But what if
you're
he has
ready
a problem
in
with that?
season.
And if he has a problem with that, she can't speak. She can't speak. He is still the priest of the home, and he's the shepherd of the church. So she can't go preach anywhere else if he doesn't give her the approval.
All right.
All right now.
What picture are you living in?
I'm living in the Bible. We're going to do it from Genesis to Revelation. He is still the head. Bottom line.
But wouldn't that cause
Conflict.
yeah?
It shouldn't
It's
cause her
already-
because she has to know her place and she has to trust God.
She's the co-pastor.
I
But you
don't
know,
care.
it's good that
He
like
is
you
still the
said.
head. God is going to open up doors.
But maybe
agree
she
with that,
feels,
yeah.
maybe she says this is maybe be some jealousy, but maybe she feels in her heart that she is a better.
And
maybe
maybe
some
she
bound,
But
it's,
she needs to be humble too.
yeah, exactly, because maybe she, I
Okay,
know her.
but hypothetically, what if he is jealous and he's malicious?
I think he is.
keeping her?
And
Okay, but
I
that-
find that to be true in a
this
lot of
she
situations.
could be
But at the
intimidated
same room,
then.
if God will open up doors for her, He'll make room
That's
for
what
her
I'm saying.
gift. Bottom line, you can't go past that.
That's why I said
Co-pastor
it's more
goes across your
deaconess.
church.
That's why I said it's more
Do not
deaconess.
listen to him, co-pastor. Co-pastor, you
Don't
submit
listen.
to your husband as the Bible tells you to. Everything else will fall in place.
Keep going to church and Bible study and singing in the choir and holding down the usher post.
She's the co-pastor. She in the
No,
pulpit.
you never know that. They may have a small church. And maybe she may be all over. Maybe he may feel, okay, well, she got all these other activities going on in church. Maybe I'll just
be overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
But she still need to talk to him.
Of course, I'm not saying
Yeah,
not
they
talk
need
to him, but I'm just saying
She just need
maybe,
to call up Jesus and
hear you
do
cry.
that.
Okay, this is our last question of the evening. This is the thing. I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, you cry.
And what is that?
She said, call up
Hear you
Jesus.
cry.
And I said, hear you cry.
Co-pastor, I hope you can pray. Yeah. Tell them what you want. You want a church.
Always running away from the truth. You lie till you make you so think it's the truth. You undress the lie and what you got. Should've been up front and just told the truth. But instead you wanna go and try and
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Carlos giving my video response here on the Truth Bowl, giving it to you straight, just the real, raw, honest truth. So here's the question. This is from an anonymous submitter from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I allowed my best friend to move in with me. It was supposed to be a 3-month arrangement. However, she's been here almost a year now. It's beginning to add stress onto our friendship. Since she's moved in, she hasn't given me any money, nor has she said when she will be leaving. I want to help her, but now I feel as though she's comfortable here and not trying to move. How do I tell her I want her to leave? This question here, submitter, anonymous from Arkansas. This is like when you're in school and they give you that, you turn your essay and then you get that red pen, they just mark it up all over the place. This is pretty much you right here, what you did. First of all, you move your friend in. There's nothing wrong with helping your friends. I'm all for that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But, you didn't set any boundaries. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you just said, oh, yeah, it's cool, you can move in with me. And you didn't say, okay, if you're going to move in, this is going to be your portion of the rent. How long are you going to stay here? Because you got to set that from the beginning. Anybody that's looking to, find a place to stay, if they see they have a comfortable roof over their heads, in a sense, I can't blame your friend. If you're letting her basically take advantage of you, if you're letting your friend take advantage of you and she's still staying there and you haven't said that it's wrong, obviously, you're basically just saying that you don't like it and you don't know how to present it to her and tell her if it's time for her to move. It sounds like y'all haven't even had a conversation about your frustrations. And, I think that we teach people how to treat us, and in this scenario, you taught your friend that it's okay for you to allow her to move in with you, for one, and it's okay for her to be there, eating up all your food. She probably got stuff marked in the refrigerator with her name on it that she didn't buy. You saying all that stuff is okay. You're saying it's okay for her to keep living there and she's not giving you any money and she hasn't told you when she's leaving. It just sounded like, again, maybe, whatever her scenario is, whatever hard time she ran into, she just moved in and you just said, hey, it's okay, it's cool, you can stay with me, but you have to set some ground rules and some boundaries, which it sounds like wasn't done here at all. So my advice to you, anonymous submitter from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, you really are in too deep at this point. So I'll just say, just be real with her, just be raw and honest. I mean, don't sugarcoat it, because at this point, she's been living with you for months. I mean, you said pretty much a year now. So at this point, just get it out. Don't be rude about it. But, you do need to get your point out and don't sugarcoat it. Just get straight to the point. Because basically you keep holding this in, and you're not saying anything, you're going to blow up one day, and then she's going to wonder, oh, where did this come from? You were cool with it all these months, and so, what's the deal now? So get it together, anonymous submitter, and if you ever get out of this situation, hopefully this will be a lesson to you to set those boundaries before you ever get into something like this, because you are in a binding contract almost. I mean, that's what you set yourself up for, because you've allowed so many things to happen. So, hey, best of luck to you and hope everything works out okay.
Always running away from the truth. You lie till you make you so think it's the truth. You undress the lie and what you got. It should've been up front and just told the truth. But instead you wanna go and try and hide the
Next one is from Lisa of Katy, Texas.
Please don't let it be the same, Lisa.
No, this is different. I'm assuming this is different. I'm single, beautiful, and a successful female who has recently joined a new church near my home. I love the church, the teachers, and the members, but there's just one problem. I think I have a crush on the pastor.
Committed girl. And
No, he's not married. No, he's not married. So that's good. He's actually single. I just get so hot and bothered and can barely contain myself. Would I be wrong for asking him out on a date since we are both single? Tell me.
yes, absolutely. Let him pursue you.
Okay.
Yeah, and cool off yourself at the church house.
Right, when are you getting hot? But
At the church.
You want
Yes.
some holy oil.
oh my God.
This is holy water. Cool yourself.
You getting hot and bothered. You can't probably
Sit
can't
in
even
church.
remember the sermon.
Ain't listening to the sermons. You too busy sitting up there looking like you looking. Don't be looking at him like that. Oh, I
She
be
gonna mess up his
scared.
salvation. Leave that man alone.
Okay, so y'all find the word, Tammy.
Let him pursue you. If he wants you, you will know it.
Okay.
Girl, switch churches so you can at least get a word somewhere. Because you're not getting nothing there.
Okay. She said it's like fire. They said the word is like fire burning in my bones. Okay.
It's burning
Girl, you ought to
somewhere
be-
else.
Girl, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Shame.
Sitting up in church thinking those thoughts. How could you do such a thing?
But she
You
actually
need to-
put it on the internet and he's
She
seeing.
wrote it down
It's
and
okay
said,
to have
is
the
it-
thoughts, but leave them right
but,
there.
but,
where
but
they
what
are.
she's saying, she's
I know.
already premeditating and thinking wrong.
Yeah.
If she says, "Oh, he's a nice man, I want to ask him out," or maybe she's had some attraction, but she's saying she getting hot and bothered in church.
You trying to tarnish the man.
In church.
She was real truthful.
Yes, it was. Yes. So my truth is, you need to pray, baby. You need to pray and pray hard and ask God, because if it's not there, it's gonna be somewhere else.
Right.
So you need to get control over that and go to church for the
Okay,
right
so by the
reason.
word, should she ask him out or not?
No.
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 Okay, let's move on.
What's going on in the church?
What's really going on?
This
Truth
church
is
going
over here in the bowl.
something else.
The truth is, that's a good
Always
church.
running away from the you lie till you make you so think it's the you undress the lie and what you got it should've been up front and just told the but instead you wanna go and try and hide the
Welcome to the Truth Ball. Today we have a question from Alexis from Plano. She writes, I recently met this guy that seems to be great, but there is something that raises an eyebrow. Every time he makes it home, he gets off the phone and calls or texts me later. Is there something going on, or is it I'm thinking too hard on it? Well, Alexis, I think you're thinking too hard about it. Number one, you just met him, and you don't really know his situation. You don't know what he's going home to or how many bags he's having to carry in the house. I mean, I just think that you're overanalyzing the situation, and you could just be putting a little bit too much thought into it. I would just say take some time, get to know him, become his friend. If there's anything that's going on that shouldn't be, it'll come out. Don't rush it. Sometimes we force things, and we can push people away a little bit too fast, especially when we just met them. So I wouldn't overthink this situation. I wouldn't overanalyze this situation. I wouldn't give it any more thought than I had to because I just met him. So just play it cool, be his friend, get to know him. If he does have someone living at home, maybe he has a family or a girlfriend or a roommate, or he just has something going on that he's not ready to share with you. I think when the time is right, and if it is anything awkward or anything that he needs to share with you, he will. But if it's not, then maybe after 3 months, if you still feel that way, and you feel like you might want to ask, then ask, but not when you just meet the guy. I mean, there's no sense in finding out too much too fast. Let, everything take its course, don't rush, be patient, just let everything happen when it needs to. That's what I think. I don't think that, you should rush anything.
and you always running away from the you lie till you make you so think it's the you undress the lie and what you got it should've been up front and just told the but instead you wanna go and try and hide the
Let's see, where we
went through the whole bowl.
Truth bowl.
Okay, very good one. Travis of Denver, Colorado. All my girlfriend's friends are getting married. She hasn't said anything to me about it, but I can tell she wants me to propose to her. I'm not ready to get married, but I don't want to waste her time. Should I break up with her or stay in the relationship and hope things change?
What did he say? He's not ready to get
He's
married?
not ready to get married now. Or
period.
Period. Right, because there's a difference.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
He said, I'm not ready to get married, comma. He didn't put a dot.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what, but the problem with the question is that he's saying all her girlfriends are getting married. He thinks
Right.
she wants to
Get
get
married.
married.
Right.
You don't know that.
Exactly. Is she
Have a conversation.
Exactly.
Maybe she doesn't want to get married.
Maybe she don't
Is
want to marry
leaving?
you. How about that?
Maybe she might not want to marry
Right. Right.
Travis, stop thinking that highly of yourself.
Maybe they both from New York.
Maybe they need to be together. But I mean, maybe she doesn't want to get married. You don't know. You just assume just because her friends are getting married that she wants to get married too.
But y'all know how it is. Straight out of college, all your friends get married. You going to 15 weddings within a year. Y'all know how it is.
Been there, done that.
You go to 15 weddings within a year, and everybody get married who dated in college. You that wedding.
Yeah, but that goes to be a leader, not a follower. Like,
Right.
exactly.
I mean,
Don't
it
get
could,
married
it
because
could
your
just
friends
be
are getting married.
that she is falling in love with the idea of marriage.
Married.
It further does not mean she's ready to be married,
Right.
nor does it mean she's interested in being married to Travis. Right.
Oh, y'all keeping it real.
Yes.
She with Travis, and he didn't say they held out 9 months on the sex.
Baby, he
They
getting it.
popping it.
Right.
They popping it. So, okay, they popping
Trust
it.
them,
Where
baby.
they from again?
Denver.
They might not be.
Does it get cold?
They might not
Oh, so
Knock it down.
Might be the Amish.
he said he can feel it. That's what he said. He can feel it.
No, he thinks.
He thinks, but that's the thing. He thinks that she wants him to propose. So
Maybe she don't.
Travis, just ask this young lady.
Right, just have a conversation.
I mean, that's very young of you to say. Travis up in my spirit that Travis is in his early 20s. Early 20s. Travis, have a communication with this young lady.
Right.
She might not want to be
all the
Ask her.
thinking. Just ask.
Say, baby, do you want to get married?
married.
Because I'm not ready yet.
right. And preface it by that, Travis.
Right.
Don't say, do you want to get married and leave it at that? Because then she's like, oh,
well, now I'm thinking about it.
we the next one?
Right.
but what if he does say, do you want to get married? I don't.
Oh, Lord.
Then it's, now we need to make a
depends on where she
decision.
is.
Right. Does she? Right.
What if she starts crying? Because that's normally probably what's going to happen.
What do you mean she's going to start crying?
Well, because she wants to get married. And
She wants to get married, then she'll start crying.
To Travis.
right. And he
Next
saying
week.
don't. Well, then, right. Sure.
I mean, you have to, you can't go to her like that. Like, you have to
Yeah,
be,
you have to lead into that
you're
conversation.
in love with her. So you have to be gentle with it and say, baby, you know, I just want to sit down and have this conversation with you. I'm picking up something in your spirit that you want to be married. Want to be married.
No, I'm picking up in your spirit that you're seeing all your friends getting married. What do you think?
Or how do you feel about that?
What do you
girl?
think about
How
that?
do you feel about that?
No, don't say that because
Why?
that's setting up the signs that how do you feel about us getting married?
No.
Yeah, that's true. It is.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I was
Because if
thinking
you
that,
came to me saying that, I
That's
was
like, oh, wait. Might have to start texting. Like, wait a minute. We get married. Like,
where's our 7?
I'm so happy I'm not there. I'm so not there. I'm just like,
No, what do y'all say?
I say talk to her.
you have to talk to her.
Talk to you have to talk to this young lady, especially if it's that type of situation.
How
You
long
don't
have y'all
want
been
to
together? 9 months?
feelings.
No, that
No, right.
How long
He
have-
didn't say.
How long have they been together?
He didn't say. Yeah, he didn't
Okay.
say.
He didn't say.
Yeah, just talk
Yeah,
to
just have a
her.
conversation.
But you should have already had this
Well,
conversation.
see, and that's where I think relationships, men always talk about, when a woman starts asking questions about where is this relationship going, they hate that question.
What do you
But
like
I think
on
it's
girls?
beneficial.
What's your view on the relationship?
Where we going with this? Because I just want to know right now if I want to walk away or what we gonna do?
So aggressive.
What we gonna do?
Always running away from the truth. You lie till you make you so think it's the truth. You undress the lie and what you got. It should've been up front and just told the truth. But instead you wanna go and
First off, I have to say I can't imagine how hard it is to transition from prison to the outside world. I'm not sure how long you were in prison or what you went for. From your question, I understand that it's a felony and that you've been applying for jobs and you haven't been getting any luck with it. And you applied for a job at the church that you were well qualified for. You didn't get it, and someone told you that you didn't get it because of what's on your record. And you're considering leaving the church, but you want to know should you approach the pastor about why you didn't get the job based on what someone told you. Okay, let me start off with applying for the job first. And the reason why I want to start there is because let's think about the key word. The key word is apply. You apply for this position at the church just like you applied for the positions outside of the church. And what we sometimes don't want to think about is the church being a business. there is a business side to the church that keeps the church afloat, that keeps the doors open on Sunday. And just like you apply for that position and with other employers, the church has to go through the same thing in order to find the right candidate to fit what they need and what they require. And who's to say that you didn't get that position at the church because someone else was more qualified than you? That is certainly a possibility and something to think about. As far as someone telling you that this is why you did not get the job, you don't know that to be true. That could be hearsay. And whether or not you should approach the pastor about what someone told you, absolutely not. I'm telling you 100% no to that. You do not need to approach the pastor about something someone has told you. You do not know that to be true. And if you approach the pastor with that, it's if you're approaching him because you're angry and because you are upset. And I think that's how you're feeling right now. But I have to question whether or not you would be feeling that way if someone had not approached you. Would you have taken this just as another, scratch off on your list of seeking employment, or would you feel the same way? And I kind of think that you would. I kind of think what hurts you the most is the fact that someone said specifically to you, this is why you did not get that position. So I think if you think about it a little bit longer, that you wouldn't feel the same way had somebody hadn't been buzzing up in your ear. As far as the last part of your question was, you thought the church was a place for healing and that the church can't forgive you. The church doesn't have to forgive you. You're already forgiven. God has forgiven you for what you've done. You're out of prison. You're out in the world. You're trying to do better than you've done before. And so you're already forgiven for that. And now you need to move on and forgive yourself. And you're looking at what happened to you as a roadblock. And right now it is a roadblock, but the good thing about roadblocks is they get moved eventually. You just have to find a way to go around them, and you have to take a detour. Who's to say that this is not your healing process that you're going through? And the healing process in that is learning how to not have what happened to you hinder you, and to be strong enough to continue to move forward. Even though you get knocked down, you keep getting up. Who's to say that in this process that you're not to learn how to do something else? Perhaps you're supposed to go in business with yourself. Be an entrepreneur, start your own business, and then help those that have been in the same situation you have. There's so much that could come out of this situation and may come out of this situation that you're going to have to stop looking at the past and looking at the right now and kind of look at the future. If you want to talk to your pastor about, you being able to heal and move on. But do not talk to your pastor about something that someone told you. And as far as leaving the church, no. I don't think you should leave the church. I think that the church, the people inside the church are not where you have your validation. Apparently, you're seeking God and you're growing in your faith and you're doing what you're supposed to do. You hold on to that. God has already forgiven you. Don't look for man to do it, because man is heading up those jobs that you are applying for. So find the good in all that you've been through and use that as a stepping stone to move forward. And I wish you luck, brother. Continue to pray, stay strong, but do not approach your pastor about some he said, she said. You didn't get this job, but there's something out there for you. You just don't have to, take a step back and focus real hard and find out what that is. So keep your head up.
When I was there, provide my broken, makes him whole. Takes the bound, makes him free. Takes the weak and makes him strong. All of my sins have been erased. He has lifted my disgrace. I'm overjoyed, overjoyed that Jesus would make me whole.
I ain't trying to be hot, I'm trying to be relevant. I ain't a candle, I ain't trying to wax eloquent. I'm running for my life now, trying to fight hard. These ain't just lyrics, but a contrite heart. Yeah, feeling it like the heat in the summer. We know better, but the flesh should be keeping us running. Back to leeks and onions, as of recent discovered. If it's in the dark, it's impossible to keep secrets covered. Who would've known that my indiscretions would reach my cousins? I apologize to me, my niece and others. You should have been able to trust, but I breached the covenant. I knew you all before you was able to reach the cupboard. Now when I preached in public, it's all out the window. Cause sin contradicted a lot of what my pen wrote. Yeah, especially what I wrote in open book. Apparently there was something in me.